Paraguay is renowned for its rich cultural heritage and stunning natural beauty. Yet, beyond the idyllic landscapes lies a series of profound challenges that often escape the spotlight. Despite notable economic growth and thriving trade relations with its neighbors, the country grapples with deep-seated inequalities, social tensions, and enduring structural issues. In this video, we'll explore the lesser-known realities of life in Paraguay, shining a light on the struggles that shape the nation's present and examining the far-reaching impacts these challenges could have on its future. Stay tuned as we uncover these critical issues, right here on the Shin channel. The beginning of the end often comes shrouded in struggles, and Paraguay's story is no exception. Nestled in the heart of South America, Paraguay is a landlocked nation of extraordinary cultural richness and natural beauty. Yet, its history tells a tale of resilience amid relentless challenges. Despite its strategic location and periods of promise, Paraguay's journey has been shaped by isolation, conflict, and economic turbulence, factors that have deeply influenced its identity. In the mid-19th century, Paraguay emerged as a model of self-sufficiency and progress under the leadership of Carlos Antonio López and his son Francisco Solano López. The nation boasted modern infrastructure, including railways, factories, and even one of South America's first shipyards. At the time, Paraguay appeared poised to become a regional powerhouse. But this promising trajectory met an abrupt and devastating end with the Paraguayan War, also known as the War of the Triple Alliance. Pitted against Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay, Paraguay suffered catastrophic losses. The war decimated its male population, claimed half its territory, and plunged the nation into crippling debt that would take generations to overcome. Where are you tuning in from? Let us know in the comments. Small interactions like this inspire us to keep creating content for you. Thank you for your support. In the aftermath of the war, Paraguay faced decades of instability. The 20th century brought authoritarian rule, most notably under Alfredo Stroessner, who held power from 1954 to 1989. His regime, marked by repression and corruption, left scars that are still felt today. Despite these trials, Paraguay gradually began to rebuild, leveraging its geographic position and abundant natural resources, particularly hydroelectric power, to fuel economic growth. Yet, challenges remain. Corruption, income inequality, and over-reliance on agricultural exports like soybeans and beef continue to hinder progress. Rising inflation and external debt only add to these struggles, as do decades of short-term political fixes that have stifled sustainable reform. The fall of Stroessner in 1989 marked a significant turning point, ushering in an era of democracy and new hope. However, the legacies of authoritarianism and mismanagement persist, manifesting in poor infrastructure, widespread corruption, and deep social inequalities. These issues make the path to sustainable development and economic stability a daunting one. Yet, Paraguay's story is one of resilience. Despite its complex past, the nation continues to push forward, striving to unlock its full potential. It's a testament to the spirit of its people and their determination to overcome adversity. If you're new to the Shin community, we're thrilled to have you here. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Join us as we explore more stories that uncover the triumphs and trials of nations like Paraguay. Signs of economic recovery. Amidst persistent inequalities. In recent years, Paraguay has shown promising signs of economic recovery, offering a glimmer of hope for its future. At the heart of this progress lies the Itaipu Dam, a joint venture with Brazil and one of the largest hydroelectric power plants in the world. This monumental infrastructure not only powers the nation, but also generates significant revenue through energy exports. For Paraguay, Itaipu is more than an energy source. It is an economic cornerstone, providing a steady cash flow that underpins its financial stability. Recent agreements with Brazil on energy distribution and renewed efforts to attract foreign investments reflect Paraguay's gradual shift toward long-term financial resilience. Beyond Itaipu's enduring contributions, the country has also embarked on fiscal reforms, modernizing its tax policies to prioritize transparency and efficiency. These changes have bolstered trust among local businesses and foreign investors alike. Simultaneously, Paraguay is diversifying its economic base by expanding beyond traditional agriculture. Manufacturing and renewable energy sectors are receiving increased attention, with both local and foreign investments flowing into these industries. This marks a significant step toward reducing the country's reliance on a handful of dominant industries. By fostering innovation and encouraging entrepreneurship, Paraguay is laying the groundwork for a more sustainable and inclusive economic future. However, despite these advancements, Paraguay continues to grapple with significant challenges. One of the most pressing issues is the persistent inequality that prevents economic growth from translating into tangible improvements for the average citizen. Many Paraguayans still lack access to basic services such as healthcare, education, and clean water. For example, the healthcare system remains underfunded and poorly equipped, particularly in rural areas where the country's most vulnerable populations reside. Education, while improving in some areas, still struggles with issues of quality and accessibility, limiting opportunities for human development and upward mobility. Corruption further complicates progress, undermining government initiatives and public trust. Inefficient institutions, lack of transparency, and widespread mismanagement hinder the full benefits of economic growth from reaching all citizens. Additionally, corruption discourages foreign investments as businesses face bureaucratic obstacles and unfair practices. Paraguay's economy also remains heavily dependent on agricultural exports such as soybeans and meat, which makes it vulnerable to external shocks. Fluctuations in global commodity prices or disruptions in trade relationships could lead to sharp declines in national revenue, threatening the nation's economic stability. In conclusion, while Paraguay's economic progress is encouraging, significant challenges remain. The country's long-term success hinges on addressing these deep-rooted issues head-on. Equitably distributing the benefits of growth through improved access to healthcare, education, and essential services is crucial. Strengthening institutions to combat corruption and inefficiency will create a more trustworthy and effective governance framework. Moreover, diversifying the economy beyond agriculture will reduce vulnerability to global market fluctuations and foster a more resilient economic foundation. Though the path ahead is undoubtedly demanding, Paraguay's determination and ongoing reforms hold the potential to build a brighter, more inclusive future for all its citizens. What is Paraguay truly like? Nestled in the heart of South America, Paraguay is often referred to as the continent's hidden gem. Though it might not command as much global attention as its larger neighbors, this landlocked nation boasts a rich cultural tapestry and stunning natural beauty that leave a lasting impression on visitors. Paraguay's cultural identity is deeply rooted in the traditions of the Guarani people, whose influence is interwoven with Spanish colonial heritage. Guarani is not only one of the country's official languages, but also a vital emblem of national pride, celebrated widely through music, dance, and cuisine. Among Paraguay's culinary highlights is chipa, a savory, cheesy bread traditionally baked in wood-fired ovens, embodying the essence of Paraguayan cuisine. Music is another cornerstone of its cultural expression, with the hauntingly beautiful notes of the Paraguayan harp serving as a symbol of the nation's soul. This iconic instrument often accompanies the energetic polka paraguaya, a folk dance reflecting the vibrant spirit and enduring resilience of its people. Paraguay's natural wonders are equally captivating, offering a diverse array of landscapes. The Paraguay River serves as the lifeblood of the nation, facilitating transportation and nurturing an abundance of wildlife. To the west lies the remote and untamed Chaco region, a stark contrast to the tranquil beauty of Lake Ipacaraí, steeped in local folklore and immortalized in song. Nearby, the Salto Cristal waterfalls create a mesmerizing retreat for nature enthusiasts. Moreover, Paraguay is part of the Pantanal, the world's largest wetland, shared with Brazil and Bolivia, teeming with extraordinary biodiversity. The country's historical legacy is equally compelling, preserved in the ruins of Jesuit missions, which are now UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These remnants, set against lush forests, are a poignant reminder of a period when Jesuits and indigenous communities collaborated to create thriving settlements. Paraguay is a nation where the past and present intertwine, offering an experience that is as enriching as it is unforgettable. Paraguay's challenges: inequality and social issues. While Paraguay's stunning landscapes and rich cultural heritage captivate the imagination, the country grapples with significant economic and social disparities that hinder its progress. Economic inequality remains one of Paraguay's most pressing challenges, with the nation ranked as the third most unequal in Latin America by the World Bank in 2018. The wealthiest 20% of the population control a staggering half of the nation's wealth, while the poorest 20% must make do with just 5% of the income, underscoring a severe imbalance in wealth distribution. A key driver of this inequality is the historical concentration of land ownership. For generations, a small elite has controlled vast rural estates, leaving small farmers and indigenous communities struggling with limited access to land and essential resources. This inequity is further reflected in Paraguay's housing crisis. With approximately 1 million homes currently lacking, the situation is dire. 800,000 homes need repairs or expansions, while 200,000 new homes are urgently required. The problem is most acute in urban areas, where rapid population growth outpaces the availability of affordable housing. Projections indicate that the housing demand will rise by an additional 3 million people over the next 2 decades, creating even more strain on already limited resources. These entrenched issues highlight the sharp contrast between Paraguay's cultural richness and its socioeconomic struggles. They also pose critical questions about the nation's future. How can a country with such immense cultural wealth and economic potential overcome these historical barriers? Achieving sustainable development will require addressing the roots of inequality and implementing bold reforms to ensure that prosperity is shared more equitably among all Paraguayans. The urban divide. Struggles in Asuncion. In Asuncion, Paraguay's capital, the stark disparity between affluent districts and impoverished areas like Bañado Sur underscores the deep-rooted urban divide. In Bañado Sur, hundreds of families endure severe poverty, often constructing makeshift homes along the banks of the Paraguay River. These precarious dwellings face constant threats from seasonal flooding, forcing residents to abandon their homes and seek temporary shelter in parks or emergency accommodations during heavy rains. The lack of robust infrastructure and ineffective public policies exacerbates their plight, perpetuating a cycle of poverty that leaves little room for escape. The COVID-19 pandemic laid bare these vulnerabilities, exposing the fragility of Paraguay's social protection systems. According to former Health Minister Esperanza Martinez, 26% of the population experienced food insecurity during the pandemic, highlighting the insufficiency of existing safety nets. In the face of government shortcomings, community leaders stepped in, organizing soup kitchens and food distribution programs to support the hardest-hit families. These grassroots initiatives became symbols of solidarity and resilience, showcasing the strength of communal bonds amid systemic failures. However, these efforts also revealed the glaring gaps in public policy. The persistent challenges faced by vulnerable communities emphasize the urgent need for transformative measures, comprehensive policies that address the root causes of inequality, ensuring access to secure housing, essential services, and sustainable economic opportunities, are crucial to breaking the cycle of poverty. Without such interventions, the struggles of Asuncion's most at-risk populations will continue to undermine their well-being and the city's long-term stability. The drug trafficking crisis, a threat to Paraguay's security and economy. Paraguay is facing an escalating crisis fueled by drug trafficking and rising violence, particularly in urban centers. Situated at the crossroads of Brazil, Argentina, and Bolivia, the country's strategic location makes it a key transit hub for the regional drug trade. This geographical advantage, combined with institutional weaknesses and corruption, has allowed organized crime groups to operate with alarming efficiency and minimal disruption. Paraguay has emerged as one of South America's largest cannabis producers, with much of the production destined for neighboring countries like Brazil and Argentina, where demand continues to grow. Additionally, the country serves as a critical trafficking route for cocaine originating in the Andean region, intended for lucrative markets in Brazil, Europe, and beyond. The entrenchment of criminal organizations involved in drug production and trafficking has far-reaching implications, from destabilizing communities to fueling corruption within public institutions. Urban centers such as Asuncion are increasingly plagued by violence, much of it linked to gang conflicts and territorial disputes between rival cartels. This surge in drug-related crime not only endangers public safety, but also stifles economic development and undermines social cohesion. The insecurity creates a ripple effect, deterring investment and destabilizing local economies, particularly in regions already grappling with poverty. Efforts to combat organized crime have been hindered by corruption, inadequate resources, and the government's limited capacity to enforce laws effectively. Without stronger institutions, increased regional collaboration, and a comprehensive approach to addressing the root causes of drug trafficking, Paraguay's struggle will persist. Reforms aimed at strengthening the judiciary, improving law enforcement capabilities, and reducing corruption are critical to reversing this trajectory. The drug crisis highlights the urgent need for a multifaceted strategy, including socioeconomic initiatives that address poverty and inequality, as well as targeted security measures to dismantle criminal networks. Paraguay's ability to secure its future depends on bold action to curtail the influence of organized crime, while fostering a safer and more stable environment for its citizens. Economic challenges. Paraguay's tax system at a crossroads. Paraguay's tax system, known for its simplicity and low rates, has positioned the country as a standout in Latin America, attracting investors and businesses seeking a tax-friendly environment. With a flat 10% rate for value-added tax, VAT, personal income tax, and corporate income tax, Paraguay offers some of the lowest tax burdens in the region. This policy has been instrumental in drawing foreign investment, bolstering the nation's economic appeal. However, this fiscal approach is not without its drawbacks. One of the most pressing issues is rampant tax evasion, which significantly hinders the government's ability to generate adequate revenue. Paraguay's substantial informal sector, including unregistered businesses and informal labor, complicates taxation efforts, leaving critical public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure underfunded. These gaps in public investment undermine the potential for long-term social and economic development. Despite these fiscal challenges, Paraguay has made notable strides in poverty reduction. Between 1999 and 2022, poverty levels dropped from 45% to 25%, with extreme poverty falling from 11.5% to 5.6%. These improvements highlight the country's economic growth and efforts to address inequality. Yet, these achievements are tempered by the persistent prevalence of informal labor. Approximately two-thirds of Paraguay's workforce operates in the informal economy, lacking access to labor rights and social protections. This reality exacerbates income inequality and leaves millions of citizens vulnerable without safety nets. Paraguay now stands at a critical juncture. Balancing the appeal of low taxes with the pressing need to increase public revenue is essential for funding social policies that address inequality and improve living standards. Tackling tax evasion, formalizing employment, and expanding access to social benefits are key priorities. These measures are vital for creating a more equitable and sustainable economy that can support all Paraguayans. As the nation seeks solutions, the challenge lies in striking a balance between fostering economic growth and ensuring that the benefits are shared more broadly. With bold reforms and innovative strategies, Paraguay has the opportunity to pave the way for a brighter and fairer future. If you found this exploration insightful, don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth stories about the world's most fascinating challenges and opportunities. Let's shape the conversation together.